Hey, what's up you guys? So today's video is going to be a first impression of the new Fenty Beauty concealer and face powder. Now I did go to Sephora and pick up the Fenty Beauty concealer, and it wouldn't be a Fenty Beauty launch if I didn't buy like 17 items. But I picked up the concealer in the shade 440, which is my actual foundation shade. And then I also bought the shade 430, which I'm hoping is a bit lighter than the concealer. And then I had picked up the shade 420, but that was purely on accident. I thought this was my foundation color, but really I wear the shade 440 in the Pro Filt'R foundation. So I'm going to be returning this, but I figured I might as well just keep it for the video and do some swatches for you guys. So the way the concealer is set up, it's supposed to complement the foundation shade that you wear. So if you wear 440 like I do, you can easily pick up the shade 440 in the concealer, but it's going to be a tad bit lighter and not an exact match, which I think is a genius way to do the concealer launch. I don't know why more brands don't do it like that. It just makes finding your match a complete easy, no fuss thing. So I'm going to show you swatches of all three of the shades that I picked up and then demo it for you guys as well as the powder and give you my final thoughts. So this is the shade 440. This is 430, which seems to be, yes, it's a little bit lighter, but it also seems to pull a little bit more pink. And then this is 420, which is neutral, not a good match for me. It just wouldn't look good under eyes. These two I am interested in testing out and trying out to see what it looks like and which would be the best match. So I'm just going to jump right in and do that. This is definitely a thick concealer. And then under this eye, I'm going to put the shade 430 just to see which one I would like better. And I'm just going to use a beauty blender. They did release two complexion or concealing sponges, but I didn't feel the need to buy it. Although I do like the Fenty Beauty sponges. I just find that I have so many beauty blenders and so many Real Techniques sponges that to spend $18 just wasn't the best financial decision. I'm really trying to use what I own versus buying new makeup, so I think I did good. So this is the shade 440. I like it. Even though it's thick, it's not like heavy thick. Like the Tarte Shape Tape is thick and kind of uncomfortable. This one is thick and creamy, and it's easy to blend, but it doesn't feel heavy on the skin, which I like so far. And this is the shade 430. 440, 430. I actually like the way 430 looks. It really brightens the under eye, whereas the 440 just sort of straight up conceals, like it doesn't lift the under eye area. I do like it. Now I also bought the Pro Filt'R loose setting powder. I picked up the shades Banana and Nutmeg. Banana I bought as an under eye brightening powder. It does come with a sifter. It says FB on it. So let me just use that, tap that out real quick. Yikes. Now, ooh, I definitely feel it adhering to my lines. Now this powder isn't thick or super dense, but I do feel it sticking on to kind of like the under eye area, like the lines that I have under there. So I'm just going to like wipe away the excess powder and then set the whole face with Nutmeg, which is a like my skin tone color, which would be good for all over the face, and then come back with my final thoughts. So the powder definitely just clings to wherever you apply it, which I think is interesting. It's not something that I would necessarily bake with because you can see the powder outline, if that makes sense. You can definitely tell where I place the powder. In terms of the shade, I don't mind the shade Banana. It actually did a really good job. It didn't dull down my face, which I like. So I'm just going to use the shade Nutmeg all over the face to set the rest of it, and see how I like it. But so far, I don't think I would bake necessarily with this powder. I would probably just use it just to set my face or my under eye area. But the baking, I think I have better powders more equipped for that just off of my first impression. So I'm going to go in the shade Nutmeg and set the face. All right, so this is the face with powder. I mean, I really like the shade Nutmeg. Most powders that come in a dark color look really neutral and just makes my face a little bit dead. The only exception being really the Too Faced powder. I really genuinely like that one as an all-over setting powder. The Cover FX one isn't really my favorite. This one mattifies the face, but it doesn't make me feel like dry, it doesn't make me look dead. I still have some sort of luminosity, and I think when I set the face with the Nutmeg and the Banana, it looks really, really good. Like my under eye area looks good, it feels nice. I will say if you have dry skin, I think this powder would be best suited for like lightly dusting under the eye. I only because I felt it like the minute I tried to pack it on and bake, it really just like it like suck in there. If you have more mature skin, I'd be kind of skeptical on this one, kind of a pass. Definitely test it out to see. I don't know if they give samples of powders, but if you can get a sample of it, try it out before you buy, because I just feel like this is something that isn't going to be too forgiving for more mature eyes, because again, I just felt it really just like cling and like suck down. I don't think this is a baking type of powder. I think this is more of a grab a fluffy brush, dust it all over your face just to set, or even just dust it under the eyes versus like packing it on. But yeah, I think this is gonna be the quickest video I've ever filmed for surrounding Fenty Beauty. I do like the concealer so far. It is thick, but it doesn't feel heavy under the eyes. It didn't really settle or crease. And I'm one of those people that the minute I blend out my concealer, it starts to just like really start to sink into the lines that I have, and I didn't have that issue so far with this. I do want to test it out, of course, over the course of the next few weeks. Definitely follow my blog or follow me on Instagram for more of an update. I will try to do an end of month update after I use this a little bit more, but I mean, I love the way my skin looks like right now. I wore the Fenty foundation off camera. I applied it off camera and wore it when I came on. So I think my face looks, dare I say, flawless? I think so far so good. I do like this concealer so far. I love that they had so many options available for concealer. At first I saw, I was like, this is quite excessive to have, I think it's 50 shades of concealer, but the fact that they made it to complement your foundation shade and you can go up or down depending on what your needs are, I think that is amazing and brilliant. It just makes shopping so much easier. I like that they have several different undertones for the concealers as well as the foundations. And yeah, I think the powders, they come in, I want to say 6 different shades, which is again mind-blowing. I had actually a hard time trying to figure out which one I wanted when I was shopping online, because I'm not used to having so many options as a woman of color. Normally it's just like you take the one that they offer and you make it work. But nutmeg is good as an all-over powder for my skin tone. I am in the 400s range. If you are deeper, there is one shade deeper that is really, really rich. When you see it in person, you kind of know whether or not it fits for you. There's a lavender, which I thought was interesting, which I think is for like the very fair people. Honey is the shade above, or no, the shade below banana, but when I was playing around with it in Sephora, it was more suited for an all-over face powder, and I think Jackie Aina said this in her video, it's more suited as an all-over face powder. Under the eyes, it just would look kind of gray, so I just didn't pick that one up. Banana I am happy with because I think just looking under the eyes, it definitely brightened it, but without making it look so stark. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I know this made me break my no-buy, but I did make an exception. I knew going into my no-buy that Fenty was releasing this, and so I kind of scooted some money aside. But hopefully this is it. No more buying. If you guys picked this one up, let me know down below in the comments what your thoughts were. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!